Oh my lord. This was one ugly. I mean, this probably couldn't have gone worse, to be honest with you. I mean, hey, Spurs fans. I hate to come in so down and out, but man, this wasn't a good one, man. This wasn't a good loss. I mean, none of the losses in the playoffs are good, and this one didn't feel great at all. Welcome to the post game show, Spurs versus everybody post game show. We obviously you're playing the Blazers in a series. If you haven't been paying attention, but Spurs lost 106-103. The Blazers have tied up the series. Wemby went out in the second quarter. What is now is diagnosed as a concussion, so he has to be in concussion protocol. That requires 48 hours of no symptoms. He has to pass activities, and he has to go through, get approved by a doctor to come back. I think it's the league. I don't know if it's the team doctor or the league. Picked. It'd make more sense if it was the league doctor. But now Wemby is probably they're talking 7 to 11 days, maybe 3. So we're looking at anywhere between games 4, 5, 6. Could be Wemby could be out possibly 3 games. He could come back game 6, possibly, maybe game 7, maybe he comes back game 4. Yeah, that was not good, man. He face planted in the ground. You saw him just really kind of go out. He looked out for a second. On the replay, which was not great to see. He tried to get up. He kind of stumbled back down, couldn't really get up, couldn't catch his bearings. Initially thought it was his leg or something, but on the replay, you could tell that he just face planted in the ground, went out. He was able to come to, headed to the locker room real fast, but he was quickly deemed out of the game. And then the diagnosis came from Shams, and Mitch Johnson confirmed or announced it to himself that Wemby would be out in concussion protocol. So now we have to deal with that. He went out pretty early in the second quarter. I thought Portland did a good job of making him shoot from outside and be outside versus getting close to the basket. I think he got some, when he was really close to the basket on putbacks, getting fouled or trying to put the ball back, was when he was successfully close to the rim. But Portland definitely made an emphasis to kind of push him out a little further. So Wemby goes out, and we'll start with what happened in the beginning. Like the Blazers blitzed us. Let's keep it as it is. Blazers blitzed us. Scoot Henderson, I don't know. He turned into an all-star. He played a good game last game. I, had on the show told him he looked good. He looked. You could see the change of direction was there. The twitchiness was there. The shot was coming around. You're like, okay, he's, that was a good game by Scoot. I don't think I expect another good game from Scoot, especially not the next game. But Scoot comes out on fire. I mean, I think he scored 13 points in the first quarter. Was probably perfect, 3 of 3 from the 3-point line. If not, he maybe missed 1. I mean, he was on fire, and defensively, he was getting after, man. He was deflecting the ball. He was everywhere on the court, and I was like, all right, well, this is cool. And the Blazers overall were making threes. Didn't think it would last. I didn't think it was last. I was proud of Spurs to actually come out on top in the first quarter. It looked like the Blazers were just going to keep building momentum, keep stacking the score. And the Spurs fought back, and they were able to, get the lead. I think it was 28-27. Second quarter, it just became a dogfight, man. It just really became a dogfight this whole game. And especially after Wemby went out, then things really got interesting. Cornette has to step into the starting lineup. Obviously, the question was, what would you do with a second unit? Would you go with a small ball lineup with Carter Bryant? Would you go try to throw Miles Plumlee out there, Kelly Olynyk to eat up some minutes? What was the game plan? Obviously, went to Carter Bryant. Probably a little ineffective. He had his moments for sure, especially defensively. There was a really good possession against Denny. I thought he got a block, but I kind of thought he got a little bit of foul on him. But yeah, we went to Carter Bryant at the 5, which was, interesting. I thought that Portland really countered that well with Robert Williams. Robert Williams is a center that can play both against a big and against the small ball lineups because he's quick and athletic that he's able to keep in front of people. And I thought Robert Williams was a big, impactful player. Klingon showed up early. Also, shout out to Klingon. He was, he was on the boards. Portland was really energetic. They were on the board. That's the big thing about this Portland Trailblazers is you have to keep them off the boards. You have to keep the second chance points down. And they're not a good 3-point shooting team. So you force them to shoot. You try to take away Denny. You slow them down as much as possible. Take away the paint. And you should win this game. And that should be the mindset going forward, in this series is keep, the activity off the boards. And in the beginning, it didn't happen. Portland just played tougher. They played strong. They played with confidence. But the Spurs hung in there, and then it was a dogfight the rest of the game. It was a dogfight up and down. The Spurs, took a big lead, and it looked like it started in the second half. They took a lead. Fox started off pretty good. He's the type of guy, I know this stats say that he's going to average about 25 points without Wemby. So he's a guy you kind of look to lean on. You paid him, a lot of money to come in there, be the all-star, be the one of the offensive engines. With Wemby, and so he got it going early in the third quarter. Let's see, we got a comment right here. Let's see. Boom. Oh, Legion of Knicks. What up, man, guys? Shout out to the Knicks, even though they lost. We'll talk about it. Hey, Legion, I gotta have you on to talk to Atlanta Hawks and the New York Knicks series. I'm definitely gonna do a show about, try to do a show about each series. Yeah, Wemby concussed, man. Wemby concussed. We talked about it earlier in the show, but yeah, he's concussed. He's going to go through protocol, 48 hours of non-symptoms. He's going to have to go through, do his activities. So I really don't know everything about it, but it looks like about what you're reading about, he could be out all the way between game 4 and game 6, maybe. So we don't know when he's going to come back. He can come back in 2 to 3 days if it's real quick, but that's a tough loss, man. It's going to be a battle, man. You lose, obviously he scored a lot of points, but defensively, I mean, you suffer a lot, because Luke Cornett can probably hold down the starting lineup, but then it's the second unit. What are you going to do? You have no paint protection. So it's tough, man. It's going to be a battle now. It's going to be a battle. It's 1-1 now. We're going to Portland. They're going to have to battle this out. And this is going to be, until Wemby comes back and see what he looks like. Going to be tough. Yeah. Knicks we'll talk about that on the show later. But yeah. Oh, okay. Where was I? Fox started off in the third quarter, got it going and set the tone. The Spurs really pushed the lead. I want to say they got it out to 14 overall at one point. Portland battled back, man. Portland battled back. Obviously, we talked about Scoot. He was kind of the player of the game, 31 points. 11 of 17 from the field, 5 of 9 for the 3-point line. He just got it going, man. He got it going. I really thought Portland really went cold at one time, and I really thought, okay, Scoot kind of cooled down. Jrue Holiday was not good. I know his stats look a little better than 16 and 9, but I thought Jrue wasn't really good at one point. It was really hurting, making ill-advised passes. The shot wasn't down, but we had Denny in control. We held Denny in control, 14 points. I mean, you'll live with that all day. Turnovers, 4 turnovers over 3 assists. You really held him in check, and you think, okay, I think Kamara hit 2 big threes. He didn't overall have a great, impressive game, but defensively he got after, especially on Fox and on the crunch time possession. He definitely held his own against Fox and really locked him up. But he had 2 crucial threes that really, started the momentum going for Kamara. Jeremy Grant was terrible. He had that 1-and-1 play, and that was pretty much it. I'm really hot. I was really impressed with what Robert Williams did. 11 and 9. I mean, he's the guy who can take away the lob. He can stay in front of he could do the drop coverage where he can take away the lob and take away the pick and roll player. And he can play big. He can go against small players because of athleticism. Like, he was definitely a big part of the Portland game, and he had that big dunk and foul by Champagnie at the end of the game that really turned things. I mean, it kept things in Portland's favor, and it definitely was kind of, I don't want to say the signature ending to that, but it was definitely like, okay, we're in trouble. We're definitely in trouble. Early on, I thought Champagnie got some really good looks. He was cashing them in. He was saddled with some foul trouble that really kept it out. Then he kept kind of jumping, getting fouls, creating fouls. But it was one of those nights where he could have been on if he would have got more open opportunities. I think he could have cashed more. So we definitely underutilized Champagne a little bit. De'Aaron Fox had a really tough go in the crunch time. You got him the ball. Players were looking to give him the ball in crunch time, and he just settled. Shout out to Portland. They play good defense at times. Just always the question about Fox's shot selection at times. Like, why are you shooting that? Why didn't you get close to the paint? There was one shot he got that was in the mid range where you'll take it, but then there was like a spin around three. There was it was a lot more ISO ball than you would want. Once Fox wasn't really going, it was kind of like, where are we going? Vassell was stepping up, getting his thing going. I think Castle one time took the ball over and got to his shot. I mean, it was wide open. He hit, we've seen him constantly make mid-range shots pretty easily, and he just airballed it. And he really didn't have a go with the foul. He's complaining about the fouls a lot. I don't ever want to talk about the fouls, complain about that. I would like to talk about more about just making your free throws. I mean, the free throws, we shot 20 of 28, 71%. I mean, you got to make 85 or above in the playoffs if you want to win. Obviously, 7 of 24 from the three-point line is not great, 29%. So those were big things. Luke Cornett held it down. He did a solid job. He was getting extra chance points. He was obviously cashing in lobs. He had a great and one reverse dunk at one time. But I thought Robert Williams was able to eliminate kind of the lob a little bit. We had talked about, go to the lob. It was working in game one. Obviously, Wemby's out, so you can't really go to that. And Robert Williams, and Scoot, I think, blocked. They were taking away. They were coming over with help coverage on the lob, and so that really helped them. And I thought that really neutralized that a little bit. Dylan Harper hurt his thumb. I mean, we had multiple injuries. Dylan Harper re-aggravated his thumb. He went out of the game. He was thriving in pain. I'm waiting for an update to see on what his condition is. But they went to him in ISO situations pretty kind of regularly. Even there was we had a 3-guard lineup with Dylan Harper, Fox, and Castle, which we really hadn't really seen too much during the regular season. But Harper showed the mid-range. He showed he was under control at times. He showed, really good maturity for being a rookie guard, and a lot more. I wanted to see more of the mid-range and see what he got his touch-wise, and that showed up for sure. Played good defense on Danny that one possession. Overall, he's, a solid defender, but especially when he's engaged, he's really, you can take it up a notch. So that was good to see competitiveness on that end. Yeah, it was a little shocking that they went even with Fox on the floor or Castle. It was Harper in the isolation at times, especially at the end of the quarter. So that was, a big thing. That was a big trust factor for him. And he wanted the ball and he got it, and he cashed a couple times. So, but like I said, he re-injured that thumb. It looked it's got to hurt. Your thumb's already messed up, and then you re-aggravate it. So we'll see how he bounces back and how that affects him. We'll see an update on him. Keldon Johnson, another kind of like pedestrian game. I've never seen Keldon have these 2 back-to-back games from him where he's been this pedestrian. I think there's a little stretch in the regular season where he had a couple quiet games, but just wasn't impactful really. Just wasn't really I thought Robert Williams is one of the centers that can also take away what Keldon does, because he's just athletic, man. He can go and block and weak side help. If you're able to stall Keldon a little bit, and Robert Williams could come over and clean it up or pin it against them. But yeah, Keldon did not get it going like he normally does. He's a big part of our bench, even though Luke and Dylan had 10. You're always accustomed the Keldon having 13, 15, he can explode for 20 plus at any time. And for him to be a pedestrian, the last 2 games is interesting. I don't expect it. At some point, he's going to break loose. So, and be that 6th man that he has been all year long. So But maybe, you never know. It's the playoffs. Some crazy things happen. But yeah, I would bet on Keldon bouncing back in games 3 and 4 because the Spurs are going to definitely need as much as offense as they can get. They can be a very high powered offense without Wemby. The defense is going to struggle a little bit, especially in the paint, obviously. But yeah, Keldon Johnson, I expect him to be a lot better. Like I said, Darren Fox struggled in the clutch, a little bit too much ISO ball. Couldn't really like some more ball movement if he didn't have it. Try to get open shots for other players. Devin Vassell, he did cook for us. He did have impressive 12 rebounds, 16 points overall. He had, like I said, a very impressive stretch where he helped, was taking over the offense a little bit. But there were 2 key plays that he really liked. One of them was an air ball by Robert Williams. I think he let Drew Holiday out muscle him and get in front of him and got an easy putback. He's got to stay in front, got to box out, got to be physical. This is playoff basketball. You have to. Every possession matters. Every rebound matters. You have to go after everything. So that was not a good look on him. And then there was an open 3 that he got that either could have tied the game or could have gave us a 1-point lead, and he missed it. Obviously, you would if he was more in flow of the game, he probably hits it, but it's a wide open 3. You got to hit that in a big crunch time situation, and he missed it. I'm not really mad at him. You can't really be mad at him for taking that last shot, a difficult shot. It almost went in. Not really worried about that, but those 2 plays kind of stuck out to me about him tonight, even though he had 16 and 12 rebounds. So, and 3 steals and 1 block. So he definitely was impactful to a point, but just it's all about, the overall arcing theme, free throws, staying, trying to control the boards, 3-point shooting, the overall, and Wemby not being there. There's some overall arcing issues that happen in this game, but that microcosm of what happens in the clutch and under 5 minutes, under 5 minutes or in close game situations, every possession matters, and you start replaying those possessions. And those were 2 things that stuck out about me about Devin Vassell. Yeah, man. Spurs are in for a real battle, ladies and gentlemen. The Spurs are now in for a real battle. The game is going to be heading to Portland for game 3. It's going to be Friday on Prime at 9:30 p.m. These late games are killing me because I have to do the post-game show. But, oh yeah, I forgot. Harrison Barnes also got injured. He got his arm trapped, and it looked like he hurt his wrist, and he was not moving it. He was trying to get strength back into it, trying to flex it a little bit, but he went straight to the locker room holding it. He didn't really make a big difference. 4 points, 1 of 3 from the field, 0-1 from 3-point line, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. But just losing bodies, man. Just losing bodies. Getting the injuries are piling up a little bit for the Spurs. Harper, Harrison Barnes, obviously Victor Wembanyama. And it was gonna be I thought it was gonna be a fun game, man. Victor got. I'm in Portland. I love my Blazers. Hopefully, when we back Friday for you, we were more focused when he was playing. We'll take the win, but with Wemby, it was fun to watch. Yeah, shout out to y'all in Portland. I've connected with some Portland Trailblazers fans on Instagram and on Twitter, and it's been fun going back and forth with y'all and wishing y'all nothing but the best luck in the series. Obviously, I hope we win, but I hope for a great series. It's always fun to see good basketball, especially Portland. They're a fun team. We obviously have City Sissoko, Tiago Splitter, Blake Wesley. There's some connections there in Portland for the Spurs. So shout out to you. Yeah, I hope Wemby's back Friday. Obviously the Portland fans want to see him play. We all want to see him play. Unanimous DPOY, youngest ever. We thought we were gonna see a master class by him again. Thought it was gonna be a fun game to enjoy him, but we just didn't get it, man. He went out with a concussion, unfortunately. It could have been like a broken jaw or something even worse. So thank God that didn't happen. So hopefully he bounces back. Everything will be fine in the end, but it just be about when he comes back. We're more focused with Wemby. Yeah. Wemby demands a lot of attention. He demands a lot of eyes. He demands a lot of game planning. But the Spurs will be able to game plan a little bit better now. They played without him before, so it's not like is a huge new experience for them. So we'll see who steps up in game 3 offensively. Normally it's been Castle stepped up, Fox has stepped up. I mean, this team is loaded with offensive talent. Keldon has also made a huge difference when he's called upon offensively. I think we'll look. I imagine Mitch has to scheme up plays. A lot of DHOs getting Keldon downhill. You got to use him as a roller because his finishing ability in the lane is important. I mean, maybe we even see him as a small ball 5 if you're not really that comfortable with Carter Bryant. He's going to have to leave his input on the game. He's going to have to bring it because the Spurs are going to need the offense. They're going to win by offense, and they've done it before. They've had a long stretch of games where they've had to dominate offensively, and they've showed up. This is the playoff. It's more physical. The fouls are a little bit outrageous on both sides. Don't like the whistle that Denny gets, but he's earned the reputation of getting able to be physical and get these fouls called for him. So he only had 5 free throws though. So, but some of the calls I just don't agree with. Can't let Donovan Clingan be. I think you have to play him off the court. And you can. They didn't really close with him. Obviously, Robert Williams is a big factor. This is going to be a big factor. We'll see how long he holds up for, and how many minutes he can actually play. Yeah, I really thought they would have to. I didn't see the Robert Williams thing coming to fruition because they had gone small ball with Kamara at the 5, and I was thinking, okay, we can dominate that because obviously Wemby will. I believe in Wemby could feast off of. He's not really bothered by wings guarding him anymore because he's been a lot stronger and a lot quicker with his moves. So I was like, all right, we should be good. But now Robert Williams, no Wemby, and Robert Williams came in and just made his presence found. I mean, like I said, he can take away he can play drop coverage, take away, he can switch. He can get out there and guard the 3-point line because of his length and athleticism. He can come from help side, weak side, and block. I mean, you saw it in Boston how impactful he was, and it's just never been able to stay healthy. But he showed up definitely and was a difference maker for Portland tonight. I thought if Portland had to play Thibault because of our guard pressure and our offensive weaponry, it would be a win for the Spurs. And obviously, he had that one segment where he blocked Keldon after trying to go after the original thing, got back into play after coming out of bounds and blocked Keldon. But overall, just not really impactful offensive player. 0-3 from the field goal, 0-2 from the 3-point line. The more he had to play, I thought the Spurs would win those minutes. Also, with Chris Murray playing, I thought they could win those minutes. Shaedon Sharpe is going to have to show up this series a little bit too. But I think if you're a Spurs fan, I mean, you'll take, how often can, Scoot Henderson produce like this and play at an all-star level almost to force your hand. Obviously, Denny is probably going to be better. But yeah, I will see if Scoot Henderson is actually, this is his coming out party. I would hate that against the Spurs because, obviously we want to win. So we'll see what that trend's like. Let's see if any stats really stand out to me. Everything was kind of a wash after everything. Obviously, 3-point percentage, the Portland's not typically a great 3-point shooting team. The Spurs have been post All-Star great, the better of the 3-point shooting, but they were a +6 on 3 points, 13-7. They shot a little bit of a better percentage, 34% to 29%. We got to the free throw line more than them, +3 in that action. But like you said, 71% from the 3-point line. I mean, for the free throw line, you got to make your free throws in the playoffs. Like turnovers, free throws. We talked about all these little rebounding. All these little categories add up in the playoffs and can cost you games. Could be the X factor, in these close games. And so Spurs have to make their free throws. The rebounding battle, defensive rebound, offensive rebound, +3 offensive rebounding. That's their bread and butter. Offensive rebound, second chance points. That's how Portland has won, these games in the regular season and now in the playoffs. So You have to keep him on the boards. That has to be an emphasis by Mitch. He's going to have to hound on it. You're going to have to back out. You're going to have to do the rebounds. You're going to have to be use your athleticism to knock the ball away from players and to your players. So not a high assist game for the Spurs. You want to see that assist number be higher than 19. Got to share the ball. Share the ball, play Spurs basketball, believe in one another, a driving kick, make plays for one another, good to great shots. All the Spurs mantra. Sometimes we get away with our offensive isolation talent or just talent in general offensively. But we have to remember there's a team game. Everybody has to want to touch the ball. You got to find a way to make plays for one another and believe one another and get the hot hand the ball when it's time. That's all just part of playing team basketball. So that's something they will have to figure out going forward and in the years to come as they play more together. 17 turnovers. We like to keep that. Spurs team usually likes to not beat themselves. We like to keep that about 10 and lower. 17 is way too high for the Spurs. So we're gonna have to knock that down. Fast break points +6 in that category. The Spurs, obviously Denny is a off fast break demon. He's one of the guys. Klingon, out of college, was a fast break guy himself. They haven't built a speedy team, so they can definitely go in the fast break. But the Spurs should be dominating that fast break, and they have to. But it starts defensively, right? You have to get stops. You have to get turnovers to create those fast break points, and then obviously Fox. You got to get the Fox. You got to get Castle get downhill, Keldon downhill, Harper. Even with the thumb, he's going to have to make a conscious effort to get downhill and finish with his ability. But yeah, the Spurs had a 13-point lead, a 14-point lead overall. I believe they were up 8. I don't want to say, what was this time? 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, something. I think it was around 5 minutes. And they just kind of just fell apart playing ISO basketball. Little things matter, man. The little things, the box outs, the wide open 3 misses, the air balls. I want to say there's probably some missed free throws in there also. Yeah, man, this was tough, man. It was tough. They led 52% of the game, so we have a series, ladies and gentlemen. We have a series. The Spurs are now in a dogfight. We'll see when Wemby comes back, but the Spurs are now in a dogfight, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to have to go to Portland and split. It'd be great if we got both, but they just have to split it, and then we'll get Wemby back, and hopefully we'll go ahead and pull us out. But whew, my gosh, what a turn of events for the Spurs. We did not see a Scoot Henderson breakout game or breakout series so far. We didn't expect, obviously, Wemby going out with injury, with a concussion, which, but these things happen in playoff basketball, man, ladies and gentlemen. Where am I? Yes, jersey, hoodie. But oh man, what else to talk about? Really, that's really what I was, because a lot of it I was looking to see what the adjustments the Portland was going to do against Wemby. Like, obviously, you have to force him out of his comfort zone. You have to get under him. You can't let him post up and be comfortable and survey the defense. You have to send doubles at him when he's gonna get ready to make a move, or you have to send it early to get the ball in his hands. I was just looking for all these adjustments. Like, are they gonna play zone more against us, take away the paint and kind of crowd Wemby out of the area? But I mean, he goes out in the second, everything goes out the window, and now both teams are trying to go on the fly and execute what they're gonna do. And so, just interesting chess match. Now, what are the adjustments? I believe you got to get Keldon going. You have to figure out a way to get Keldon downhill. Rely on Vassell in the mid range. You saw some good things for him. 0-5 from the 3-point line. I don't think that's something that's going to stick for him. Fox is going to have to be better. Fox is going to have to be better, or they're going to have to figure out something. Castle's, used to getting these little more foul calls for him. He's dealing with the refereeing and the overall playoff, how they call fouls in the playoffs a little bit. He's gonna have to adjust to that. But yeah, I think the key would be getting Keldon going, being a big part of the offense. And the Spurs just winning with offense. They're gonna have to rebound, keep Portland out of the paint. I slow down Scoot. Who knew I had to go into the series saying we're gonna have to figure out a way to slow down Scoot? I didn't think that was gonna be happening, but it might be at that point where we're gonna have to figure out a way to stop Denny and Scoot, and hopefully no one else joins the party for them. But yeah, this has been a interesting post game show, man. Interesting post game show. We're gonna keep it short and sweet because I don't think I want to, over dramatize the game. The series is brand new now. We're gonna have to figure out what's gonna happen from now. But this has been Spurs vs. Everything podcast. Podcast post game show. Series is tied 1-1. I'll see you again on Friday. It's gonna be a late one. 9:30. Let's see, 2.5 hours. 12:30ish, maybe close to 1. I'll be on here. I believe Marshall will probably be on here. So if not, I'm gonna try to find a co-host because it's much funner to talking to somebody than kind of like just freestyling off my. Even though I do talk a lot, it's a lot more funner to talk to somebody. But I also, like I said, I'll also have. I'm gonna go through other series in the NBA. But I want to have guests on to talk about it. I booked a Hawks guest. I'm hoping Guillermo comes through for the Knicks. I'm gonna have to reach out to different other players. I got some, I got a Sixers fan, I got an Orlando Magic fan that I'm gonna try to reach out to. But yeah, we're gonna go through some of these series because they're getting interesting. Sixers won tonight. It's 1-1 there. Orlando pull off the upset. It's 1-1 there. Lakers and Rockets are going right now. Lakers are up. KD's back still. KD has come back, but the Lakers are still up 54-50. If they take a 2-0 lead, it's going to be very interesting there. Oh, Minnesota. They snuck in and won. Anthony Edwards stepped up. Defensively, they stepped up. They really tied out Jokic and Jamal Murray, who were shooting, short shots at the end, and they weren't able to execute. And it was interesting to see that. That's a series. And if we're gonna go along with Portland, we're gonna need that Denver Timberwolves series to go a little longer themselves. So that'd be great. At least both teams are kind of tired going into round 2. But yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Drop a comment below after the episode. And you can find us in across all social media at Spurs vs. Everybody, Instagram, Twitter. Shout out to all the collabs on Instagram that I'm getting. It's been great. Shout out to everybody. All the graphic designers that have reached out to me, all the Portland Trailblazer fans that want to collab, Yahoos, throw some collabs in there. Just some great love these collabs, working with people. Obviously, it's been fun. So check those out. Reply back on X. I guess we call it X stuff. I keep wanting to call it Twitter, but we respond on X. Obviously, Marshall's on Twitter and Marshall Best 14. You can go check out him. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Comment, retweets, likes his tweets, interact with him, interact with the Spurs with Everybody account. But yeah, man, the Spurs and Portland series is tied 1-1, and we're going back to Portland, and this is going to be a slugfest. So we'll find out what's going to happen on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. No, it's not. But catch y'all later. Peace. Got to hit the end. Okay. Bye-bye.